second video of the referee side of it, the official state championship review series. Now we've done the first one with Garrett, and now we're going to do the second one with Jim Shaw from LaRue County. So Jim, how long have you been an official?
Yeah, we were talking about it. I started my first year out of school, so 99, 2000 was my first year, which makes it 22, 23 years. I've been a registered official now. I haven't been on the mat for 4 or 5 years, but did several state championships.
That was my next question, about how many state finals you think that you've done just at the ballpark.
I was selected my second year officiating.
Oh, wow.
And I did all the way up. I managed the state tournament got off the mat for 4 or 5 years before I got off the mat. And I probably had 10, let's say 10 to 12 years doing it. Chris and I actually, so this year I think was the first father-son in Rocky and Blake Durham, which is cool. Congratulations, guys. And
Rocky and Blake.
Chris Shaw, my little brother, and I were the first brothers to do a state championship state tournament together. So
that's cool.
I probably did 10 to 12 years, and you do 1 to 2 state final matches as the head official those years. So I let's ballpark it 15 to 20.
Okay.
I did state final matches.
Good enough. Yep. Good enough. What you're seeing now is the 2010 119-pound state championship, Myron Bradbury from Louisville Trinity, and then a name that, if you're familiar with wrestling, you probably know very well, Mark Hall from Ryle. Yes, that is the same Mark Hall that won the state or the NCAA championship for Penn State. I think he was 174 pounds. You guys are seeing a photo of him here. He did come to Kentucky for 1 year because Kentucky middle school aged kids can wrestle in high school. And after this year, he goes back to, I think it was Minnesota, same school, I think that Gable Stevenson.
Apple Valley.
I believe that's right. I believe that's it.
He repeated 7th grade because he would have been a 7th grader. So you're looking at a 7th grader, if my memory's right, and a senior. Myron, I think, was a senior this year.
Yep, 7th grader and a senior. So we're going to let Jim watch it. He's on the whistle for this match, and let him kind of walk us through and give his opinion about being a referee and the calls and stuff. And Jim's a great referee. I think you were in the training capacity, like a lead instructor official for a while. So Jim knows how to officiate. He knows how to help other people officiate, make other people better. So that's what we're going to do. Put this match on and just watch it. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Now, we're still at the dungeon here, in case you're wondering.
This would have been, you're tuned in when you're an official, but this would have been the 3rd time they wrestled. I think they're 1-1.
Oh, really?
Mark
I didn't know that.
I think Mark had beat Myron the last time they faced each other. They both were really good wrestlers.
Oh.
Was Myron a returning?
I think he was. I'm pretty sure he was
state
defending. I'm not sure it's the same weight class, but I think he won it twice. And of course, you got Mark in the Ryle singlet, the white singlet.
Yep.
Myron in the green Trinity singlet.
So who's my assistant? I don't remember who my assistant was this year.
I don't.
I'm gonna have to use them if my memory's right. I've never watched this match. I remember Trinity wasn't one of the more favorable schools, and so I remember most of everybody was hoping for an upset and watching this match. And I think my wife
is that Cody?
There we go. It's a nice shot. They're scrambling. That's Cody Walls.
So that's what I thought, Cody Walls.
So I've got patience right here. I mean, it's, of course, I'm talking and not watching, but Mark almost got a good ankle pick on him. And I remember the thing you had to do when you got high-level competitors out there, you owe it to the kids to let the action play out. And I always tried to be delayed. And you want to be fair when you got 2 evenly matched kids. You don't want to interject yourself and have to be the deciding person. You want to watch them and these were two good wrestlers that were active and they had good styles. But I remembered having to be really patient.
Stalemate, good call.
We coached that and we trained, you speak training, we trained it to where when you get in action, don't let the clock burn and stalemate. You know, other times you might look at that as stalling, but I always, if both are equally doing what they're best at,
Right.
then there we go. There's some action.
There's a
Good
shot.
shot. Good switch. Nothing. Now I'm being patient here. If he hooks his ankle, nothing still.
Nothing.
Close.
Nothing. Two.
There we go.
Two.
So he must have the ankle. That was, yep, he's got that ankle.
Yep.
Some people might not understand why is that too, but there was a rule book picture at the time that clearly showed this, that said that is deemed control, and
Yep.
that's really what you're looking for, of complete control.
And that's something too, wrestlers, coaches, anybody involved, is know the rule book, know what the images are, that way you can have a competitive advantage. So here we're starting back.
So it's 2-0,
Two.
no escape. One thing I always try to do, and you don't have to do it, is show who's in control, so you'll see my hand out.
I do the
A
same
lot of
thing,
times.
trust me.
I think it just helps the crowd and takes the tension off of what's going on. And when you have an assistant official and a head official, when you're working in that capacity, the assistant official is supposed to catch the out of bounds action, and the head official straddles the line and watches the out of bounds is mechanically.
Go to caution green. He done it too. I mean, it was plain as day.
I always like to settle the kids. You all can watch my match. You're not supposed to coach the kids, but listen, they're high school kids in the 7th grade. And I would always kind of like, let's just calm down, guys. Listen, we're going to get reset.
Yep.
And that's not coaching to me. That's some of what I took on as an official were things that maybe the things you didn't like the most about how you were officiated.
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about first father-son with Rocky and Blake.
Yes.
You and Chris, first brother. You might be, I could be mistaken, but you might be the first state champion under the lights to officiate under the lights.
David Wolterman. There were a few that did that.
Well,
Not
I mean,
a lot, but
like in the same venue, I should say.
oh yeah, I probably was that.
Let me rephrase that. In the
I
same venue.
may very well been the only one at Frankfurt and the call at Frankfurt.
Yeah.
We'd have to go back and look through it, but I know David Wolterman, who officiated out of Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some good action. There's nothing. And Mark's scrambling, but
Nothing.
you can see the Trinity coach showing me that that's not fleeing the mat when you got good wrestling on the edge of the mat, 2 high-level competitors. They both were so evenly matched. I remember they both were just, wrestling had evolved so much even by then to where just the moves, and they call it more of a funk style wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a good shot. He didn't get control. Myron's ending up towards the edge of the mat a little bit here. I don't remember if I hit him for stalling or don't. What's it, 3-0?
3-0.
You wonder what it's like to be a defending state champion, and Myron's still in coaching, I believe. I think he's coaching at one of the colleges, and
I think you're right.
to get him in and just what's going through. Now he's ending up. He's getting close to that line. There's a shot.
Nope, not yet.
Good action, but
Yep.
nothing. We don't have anything secure.
Nothing.
Now Mark might cover that hip. And not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Look how flexible he is.
I get booed really, really loud one time. That's it.
Yep.
My wife was sitting. This might have been the first state championship. She came and watched me. She wasn't my wife at this. What year was this?
2010.
She was my wife at this. Yeah. No, she wasn't. We got. I should know this. We weren't married yet, and but this was the first time she'd watched me officiate. She was sitting up in the Ryle section. And when I got booed, and my father-in-law really liked it, and she wasn't too fond of it. But I remembered that loud boo there.
He's taking neutral. It's kind of surprising.
I'd have to watch. Things go so fast. You're talking, but there never was established control. It didn't look like to me.
Yeah, we'll go back after.
We'll watch it. Yeah, slow it down. I'll pay a little more attention. I think it gets pretty close here. I don't think I've hit anybody for stalling.
I
Myron's getting
don't
close.
think you have
Myron's
either.
stalling right. He's if I don't hit him, I'm thinking about it.
Ooh, up. Neutral.
Didn't hit him. I'm talking to him, telling him he better stay in line. That could have been stalling right there. For sure. Now here he goes.
Nope.
He's got action. Nothing.
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Mark was so good
Oh, yeah.
at this position. He was just flexible, and I mean, he's I don't know how Mark's 7th grade right here, and I mean he's wrestling with a senior. And his movement and just natural ability there was. It's no wonder he had. I think he had success. What did he win, 1 or 2?
I think he won. I've got it pulled up here real quick. I got his
There's a shot.
biography pulled up.
There's a shot.
He wins the 2017 174 pounds. He silver medals in 2018 174, and he silver medals in 2019 174, all for Penn State.
Good shot. He's deep. Not yet. Almost. Not yet.
Not yet. Nope.
He ain't gone defensive. You're looking for him now.
There it is.
There it is. So
2.
there you go. So
He cuts him.
You give patience, and now he's let him loose, but he's got to let him recover.
Yep.
You got to let him recover, and I'm sitting there saying he's got to recover.
Yep. So 4-2, 26.1 seconds left. That's about where we're at.
Smart too. Look, let him up. He knows where the clock is.
Yeah.
No stallings in place, so that might have been 1 up. Now we're back in the same position. He's trying to get it. Nothing yet. We're close.
2, right? 3 seconds left.
See, when they secure that ankle, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, he had a leg cradle type in.
Yep.
I could have taken something here, but you gotta be excited. Now that's uncalled for.
You're talking to him.
Telling him I don't need it. Don't taint. Let your wrestling speak for itself. It's a close match.
Good match. Very competitive. Very competitive. And I'm gonna step over here and hit our pause button. So, looking back on it, getting to officiate an NCAA, future NCAA champion. Excellent job all the way around in officiating. It's easy anybody can look back on something and say I should have done this or should have done that, but you've done excellent job. I mean, you can tell you're with a lot of let stuff burn, let stuff not burn, calling stuff like that. You can tell you've been there before. Nothing was new to you, and you knew to let the kids decide.
Yeah.
And that's my take on it.
Well, I think as an official, you always have to be humble enough to know when you don't. You're going to make mistakes. I made mistakes.
Yeah, hello.
There's people to watch this. It'll be like you said was one of the. There's people you're 50-50 just out of natural emotion. But I know there was times, and there'll be coaches if they watch it that I would admit when I made mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You just hope to be. I think as an official, my style and the way that I always tried to approach it is I owed it to those athletes and those kids for this moment to know the rules as good as I could, to not be in a place where I decide to match, let the kids decide to match. And we always talked a lot. I had a lot of good mentors. We were a close-knit group, and I think that's where you get better as an official.
Absolutely.
You know, iron sharpens iron, the Bible says, and we had a lot of good officials that helped me with just, you got to be patient. And it doesn't mean you get it right all the time, and somebody else could look at this and see it. I mean, I hadn't watched this, but I remembered there being a lot of close takedowns. Mm-hmm. We'd have to watch it and do slow motion in a little bit.
Yeah, after we turned the camera off,
my goal was to always not, I never wanted people to know that Jimmy Shaw was on the mat officiating it. I wanted, I wanted the kids to decide it and let them do it and just not become part of the match. And I always had probably a little bit of you saw me talking to the kids a little bit. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's not coaching them. They're still kids, and this moment's big for them, and it's it doesn't hurt to be. You don't favor one over the other. You just kind of sometimes. You've been there. We needed it. That's why you got an assistant. Sometimes it's just an assistant to talk to. What do you think?
Exactly. And I got to officiate the 2020 state finals. It was Union County, Irvin versus Watkins from DeSales heavyweight. DeSales is orange and brown. They're wearing an orange singlet. Union County's wearing their that Columbia blue with the red on it.
Yeah.
Ankle band falls off. I hold up the wrong hand twice.
Yeah.
And I've got Mike Ford as the assistant, and he kind of like pointing, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the wrong color. So we make mistakes. It happens. We were able, like I said, I didn't see anything in this that completely influenced the match one way or the other. You let the kids decide it. Same thing with my mess up holding the wrong hand. I just held the wrong hand up. I knew what the call was. I held the wrong hand up. I guess I should have been paying more attention. But any parting words for new officials, anybody like fans, wrestlers about the officiating side of it that they may not know or they just don't understand from our perspective?
I think you got to acknowledge a lot of the fans and even some of the coaches that are just volunteer assistant coaches. They may not understand the rule book as well as you. Mm-hmm. And you always try to approach it as, just as a new official, you just get on the mat as often as you can.
Absolutely.
Put yourself around officials that are better than you and learn from them. Ask questions. Make sure part of the reason I'm not on the mat anymore is I didn't have the time to dedicate to knowing the rules and making sure I was as active as I needed to be so that I was the best version of myself for the kids out there. But really that's it. And then it's not about you.
Yeah.
I think if you always keep that in your mind, it's you're there to do a job. You can't listen. You're gonna get criticism. You gotta listen to your officialing group, but you can't expect for people. It's one of the tougher officiating jobs because you're right in the action and you've got to make a lot of judgment calls. And know your rules. Don't listen to the criticism. Surround yourself with good people that are better than you, and just be consistent. I think if just off the cuff, that's what I'd try to mentor and coach to newer officials. And it's going to be all right. Admit when you're wrong. If you make a mistake, I had a coach. A lot of the wrestling community will know him was Phil Coombs, and I made a mistake. It was early on in my career, and I made the wrong mistake. I called locked hands, and it wasn't locked hands. Mm-hmm. It was a cradle situation, and some of my buddies that officiate will know this. Is I went over and I just told Coach Coombs that I told him what happened. I said I stopped it. He was about to get a takedown, and I stopped it for locked hands, and it wasn't locked hands, and I realized it, and I couldn't do anything about it. And Coach Coombs told me that he said, "So let me get this right, because you made a mistake. My kid's got to suffer on it." And I just said, "Yeah, pretty much." But you got to own that. Yep. You're a human. You're going to make mistakes. And
absolutely.
If you get to this level in the state championship, one of the things I was on the mat as a wrestler and as a competitor, and there were nerves associated with it. Mm-hmm. I had similar, maybe others don't have this that officiate, but I had there's a same sense of nerves when you're out there and you did it for the first time, so you can take yourself back to you don't want to mess this up for the kids. You don't want to make your mistake on this stage. Yep. And so you get enough practice, you get in it, and then you go out, and if you stay consistent and do your best, and that's all you can do. And always be coaches. I never had an adversarial relationship with a lot of coaches. There were a few. You always do.
Absolutely. Yep.
But I always looked at the coaches as my job was to inform the coach. And if they wanted to come talk to me, as long as they approached me in a respectful manner and they came up, I always thought it doesn't. One of the good things we did is we started Kentucky Wrestling Officials Association, and we paired very closely. So Gary Cantor started it on the coaches side. He got the team back together, the Coaches Association, and then a group of us started it on the official side, and it was always about how could we collaborate in the fall clinic and just how can that relationship be there to where it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be coaches against officials.
Yeah.
That's not what the sport's, and at the end of the day, it's really about neither one of us. It's about the athletes and the kids, and we're there to just administer a fair sport and make sure we carry out the rules. And so I never really got caught up in that, and I think the state's come a long way, and that's, out respect to the coaches and the officials, and I know you're still involved in the association. It's a good thing.
Actually, when we finish up here later today, I'll be driving
the banquet's tonight,
from here to the banquet, the end of the year banquet, and that's kind of why I've got on a little bit nicer of a shirt. I don't want to go looking, like whatever. But great information all the way around, getting to watch, and what you said about with your experience, great information. I think it's a great way to wrap up this video, put a bow on it. And if you guys have a match that you want to see an official, like maybe the official, put it in the comments, get up with me, and I'll try to get up with them, say, hey, let's do this match from, this year, and let's watch it, or get their take on this, or whatever, because I look at this, not, getting these guys to be able to show their officiating, show their families, friends, just have for the record, but also as a training tool, because I can't tell you how many times people come up to me at meets and said, I've got this on video. My kid got cheated, this got cheated. Well, first off, there's nothing we can do about it. We can't watch video. We can't use video replay. But what we can do is get video and use in clinics, use in seminars, use for videos like this. Say, hey, this is what happened. We're going to show you this. This is the way it should have been called. That way you can see, this was the mistake. And you've seen it before. And it's not going to be new to you, and you know how to call it. That's all we got with Jim Shaw, Mark Hall's 2010 state championship match referee video review. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you have anybody you want us to get with, do a match for, put it in the comments. We'll see you guys on the mats. And I think me and Jim going to grab some food.
Yeah, and we'll take him to Lay Hayes Red Castle down here. And I would, last parting thing is just congratulations, Myron.
Yeah, Myron,
Bradbury,
of course.
And Mark on this match. You all, I remember it was one of the better matches, if not the best match I had to officiate. So thank you all for allowing me to be part of that, and hope you're both doing well in life.
Absolutely. Mark Hall, if you see this, reach out to us, man. We'd love to get you and do a review on this side as well. Myron, same thing. You guys be easy. We'll see you on the mats.